Story 1. Depends which one. 1. Had a lot of affection to give. Really listened and thought about things people said and was willing to change their mind. Hasn't, to my knowledge, murdered a hamster. Story 2. When our son was born, I had a cesarean section because my ex-husband is 6 foot 3 inches, weighing 220 pounds. The baby was 10 pounds, and I almost bled to death. They kept me in the hospital for 5 days, and my husband paid for the bed next to me to take care of and watch over us. On day 4, a nurse came in with a bunch of towels. She said the doctor gave the okay for me to have the blood washed off. My husband said, "I got that. Just bring me the soap, water, and towels," and sent her away. I was covered and caked in dried blood from hemorrhaging. He knew how modest I was. That meant the world to me. Story 3. She was funny, fun, beautiful, attractive, humble, caring, thoughtful, a friend to everyone. Someone everyone wanted to be friends with. I would miss her immensely if I didn't see her for a day. She gave everyone hope. She showed interest in everyone and believed in everyone she would meet. She listened with interest and with intent. She was loved by everyone, but she didn't realize it because she was too focused on everyone else. She is the one. Story 4. She is, for the most part, one of the best people I know. She's smart, funny, and she genuinely cares about other people. I'm not saying she's perfect. She definitely has some flaws, but she's better than a lot of people I know. I, on the other hand, am definitely a very flawed individual and am largely responsible for the failure of our romantic relationship. We're still good friends, though, so I've got that going for me. Story 5. He did care for me. However, I think we were both way too young for such a serious relationship. I wish we focused on our careers first instead of diving deep into a commitment. Story 6. Despite being otherworldly beautiful, she treated me with complete love, care, and respect and never once played emotional games or acted like she was out of my league. Story 7. Only have 2 exes. 1. I'm glad we didn't have children because I would have been stuck away from my family after our split and unable to get the help I needed. There is much better care where I am now. It saved me. He was a good dad. Ironically, we split because I wasn't in a good place at all. I think we would have split anyway once I got better because he didn't want more children, and I am so excited to be having one of my own very shortly. I missed the evenings where the 3 of us would have dinner more than I missed us as a couple. I'm a sucker for domestic drudgery and thrive on it despite being very into my career also. Story 8. His Christmas gift was probably the best one I have ever gotten, and he helped me reach my rock bottom relationship-wise. It is what helped me start being able to be happy as a single person for the first time. I had never not been crushing on someone before. For over 4 years, I was happily single after his narcissistic behavior. My psychiatrist thinks he was clinically that. Story 9. She may have cheated on me on our first wedding anniversary, but she did have the moral fiber to tell me as soon as she got home. I'm in love again now, and it's the right person, so it all worked out in the end. Story 10. The relationship with him led me to visit countries I never would have visited if I weren't with him at that time. That's all. There's nothing good about him as a human being. Story 11. She co-parents well with my wife and me. My wife's ex-husband makes our life difficult. This has made me appreciate her because she puts the kids first and is kind to my wife. She cares about her and includes her in everything with our children. Story 12. In order of recently into the past. 1. He is a talented chef. He is a talented guitarist. He is a talented tattoo artist. He is a talented skater. Story 13. Divorce sucked, and she treated our kids like therapists, but she was never greedy for money. I got out for about half of what it could have been if she had been nasty. Story 14. Fun. Exciting. Great cook and entertainer. Interesting. Great in bed. Sexy. He treated me poorly in the end, but going through that taught me some good lessons and made me finally see my worth. Story 15. He was a good man, and I treated him poorly. I am woman enough to say that now. I believe everyone comes into our life for a reason, and I am forever remorseful that my life lesson was his heartbreak. I hope he gets the love he deserves someday. Story 16. He was kind at the beginning. He came over unannounced one evening with a bag full of my favorite fruits and treats when I was feeling down. I understand now, after extensive therapy, he was love-bombing the ever-living hell out of me, so forget me, right? Story 17. He was so very loving and affectionate. He really loved me, but he has his priorities all wrong. We are better friends today than we were when we were married. He will admit that too. Story 18. He freed me so that I would not have to suffer being his wife. He showed his true colors early, so I did not get locked in when breaking up would have been harder. So yes, he is a real stand-up guy. Story 19. There are so many good qualities. The best would be the ability to listen without judgment and be considerate. Those were the exact things that made me fall in love with them. Oh, and yes, they were the best with puns. I loved it. Things did not work out between us, but I hope they find someone who is equally nice as them. Story 20. To be honest, I don't know. Maybe it was that she made me realize there are other women out there because as a freshman in high school, I was a total jackass with mental issues. Then over the years, I repeatedly kept getting fake crushes on her until junior year where she completely led me on. Then I realized afterward that I was being a dumbass and that I should take a break from trying to date and just focus on myself for a bit. Story 21. 1. The love he has for his family is beautiful. 2. I am proud of you for overcoming addiction. 3. You were perfect. I was an idiot. For your beard finally grew in. Story 22. Just 1. My ex and I didn't fit, but that doesn't make her bad. She was an amazing person. Consistent, smart, loving, caring, dependable, self-sacrificing, a giver, and she made me a better person. I genuinely hope she is happy. Story 23. He was a public school performing arts teacher who had a real knack for sincerely connecting with special education students, and they generally thrived in his classes. Story 24. He teaches people to be tough and resilient. It's a blessing, really. I've avoided a lot of the problems with low self-confidence by being tough, knowing how to take a punch mentally, and never giving up. Story 25. I do not have any bad things to say about my ex. She is the most amazing person I have ever met, and I am still happy she is one of my closest friends. She is drop-dead gorgeous, kind, funny, and caring. She would drop whatever she is doing and help someone who needs it. It is scary to think of the person I would be if she never came into my life. Story 26. I have nothing but good things to say about pretty much all my exes. Just because we parted ways doesn't mean they were a bad person, but rather that we weren't each other's person. They are all strong, beautiful, intelligent, successful women, and I wish nothing but the best for them wherever their paths take them. Story 27. Which ex? If it's my most recent one, I'm happy to say we're on good terms. If I were to say one good thing about her, other than she's gorgeous, it's that she's a good person. Someone you'd be proud to introduce to friends and family. Story 28. His spell in a mental health facility after my escape and his dating a worse predator than him allowed me to have some empathy towards his narcissistic personality disorder, albeit from a distance. Story 29. I have never met a man that cared about me more than him. When it was good, it was good. He always talked about us as we, willing to help others, see the best in others until they prove him wrong. Took care of me and always wanted the best for me. I miss him dearly. Story 30. That she was the sanest basket case in the world, and the only reason people consider her off the medication is because she truly does see the world as no one else does, like she was the only one who knew the truth. That one person who sees the world completely unfiltered will always hold a special place in my heart. Story 31. My last ex. I can say a lot of good things about her. Her emotional intelligence was exceptional, she made very good French toast, and she expanded the number of ways in which I eat eggs. My first boyfriend, as much as I try, I honestly cannot find anything truly good to say about him that isn't at a very low bar. Like he never killed anyone, to my knowledge. But beyond that, he was a terrible person. Story 32. He is a genius, extremely manipulative in both good and bad ways, and can achieve anything he wants. Honestly, he is extremely intelligent, and to this day, I have never met anyone with that level of intelligence. He taught me so many things, and these have made me look smarter than others around me, and I cannot even be mad at him for manipulating me. I just admire him for his abilities. Story 33. Changes depending on which one, but I dated all of them for a reason. I never understood the whole breaking up equals Satan thing. I'm on good terms with most and still friends with some of them. Story 34. First one. This guy was abusive as hell, but he worked to a fault, ridiculously meticulous and hardworking and committed when it came to tasks or problem solving. Second one. Amazing people skills. Knows how to de-escalate an upset person without reacting himself. Does it quickly and efficiently. I guess he works with kids and teens though. Third. Good at sex, I guess. Goal-oriented. Story 35. She really loved her son. He was her reason for the grind, and he was a good kid too. If she could have figured out how to not hold me accountable for her ex's mistakes, I think we could have had a really good relationship. Story 36. She made me grow up and stop partying. She made me love hard. She left over 10 years ago. I hated the day she left, but then my wife came along, picked up the pieces, and has been by my side ever since. Thanks to my ex, I learned that love isn't just a word. Love is actions. So I have a lot to thank her for. The house I live in, the career I have, all because she got me away from a dark time in my life. Story 37. She was incredibly motivated to succeed and have a good life, as well as to help those around her. Unfortunately, to a fault. I wasn't motivated before her, but I was after her. She taught me how to respect money instead of fearing it, and in the end, taught me to respect myself because others might not. Story 38. Most recent. He was an amazing travel coordinator. Most long-term, he is just literally the best person I know in every form apart from finances or spending maybe. Story 39. He is an amazing person and I respect him deeply. We ended up growing into different people who wanted different things out of life, and there is nothing wrong with that. Sometimes life takes you in different directions. We were not meant to be, but I genuinely wish him the best. Story 40. Oh, I have a few. She could roll incredible cigarettes. She loved her dog. She loved science. She could perform a trick and make your troubles disappear. Mad as a box of frogs, mind you, mostly due to smoking too many of point one up there. Story 41. She helped my character development in ways I am not sure I would have achieved otherwise, and I am where I am now because of her. It has been 6 years since we broke up, and I still miss her a lot and think about her all the time. Well, maybe not her, but who she was in the first few years of our relationship. I think had we made different choices, she would have married me. But I moved away to chase a dream, and she fell in love with the person she went on to marry. You cannot have it all. Story 42. He has a soothing presence, a calming voice, and an irresistibly magnetic charm. He is very respectful to everyone around, whether at his core he likes them or not. He has great control over his anger and impulsive emotions, which is contradictory to mine. I used to love that we never fought. We had healthy arguments, a mature move he taught me. Coming from a place where hands are thrown the moment there is a slight disagreement, it has been the healthiest learning of my life. I also learned the value of being ambitious from him. Story 43. In all our 30 years together, while having many arguments or fights, he has never once called me out of my name or any type of derogatory or negative name. I wish I could say the same about myself, but sadly I can't. Story 44. He helped me become more self-aware of all the ways my traumatic past issues were continuing to inflict pain not only on others but on myself as well. There was something about this particular person who changed me in ways no other person had before, and because of him and the ultimate end of our relationship, I sought the help I needed to become a healthier, happier version of myself, and I will forever be grateful to and for this person. Story 45. One of the most caring, smart, yet playfully dumb and nuttiest people I've ever met. And her cooking was the best. She toughened me up and helped me grow into who I am today. She gave me a helping hand when I needed it most. I wish her all the best. Story 46. She did try to get me to open up more about my feelings and attempted to be a caring person. It didn't always work, and she didn't always listen, but she tried. Story 47. Her love was genuine. She wanted me to explore my hobbies and hang out with my friends. The downside is that she beat me to the point of bruises on my ribs and jaw. Before you all say anything, no, I didn't hit back. I was raised better than that. Story 48. He embodies the term safe space. I was surprised that opening up to him was so easy. And on top of that, he didn't use those things against me. He was so understanding and respectful. Even though our timing was off, I'm so grateful to still be his friend. Story 49. With her being entirely neurotypical and me having bipolar and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, I'd say she's a lot better at life than me. Granted, the game is designed for her while I'm playing with a poorly mapped third-party Nintendo 64 controller. Story 50. She caused me to finally place myself at the top of the priority list. If you do not respect my emotions, opinions, or values, get out of my life.